Good morning, Mr. Fegis. Cabot.
Sam, what had happened to your beard?
I know. I had to start looking respectable. My poor mom. It was killing her.
She's on a different movie now.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Deb.
I'm so jealous of everyone else's better backgrounds. Look at Fegis. He's got beautiful mountains, and Cabot, he's got dead sheep, and I got to do something. I got to improve.
You just need to take the effort.
I know.
You got your family tree in the back there. That's good.
I know. I do have the family tree, but it's in the guinea pigs right here. Wait, how do I do that? The guinea pigs there are joining me in their little cage, but you can't see any of the pictures on the family tree. Sad.
Sam, the governor's going to be joining at about 5 minutes after, so we thought we'd get started right away as soon as he gets on.
Perfect. Yep. No, that's great. Nope, that'll give folks time to get on here. It always takes a little while for folks to sign on. So, and just to let folks know, as you're coming on, your phones are muted. If you want to say a quick hello or something, you can unmute it and do that before we get started. But then once we get started, we'll have everyone just keep your phones muted so you don't pick up any background noise. Hey, I see Renee joining us all the way from Juneau. How you doing, Renee?
Hey, Renee.
I'm good. How's everyone doing today?
Hey, we are awesome. Thanks so much for helping us get the word out.
You're welcome. Yeah, I sent out just over 800 email invites for it, so we'll see how many people show up.
Awesome. No, that's cool. Well, we should have given you a little bit more heads up. It just kind of dawned on us like, oh, we should probably ask Renee. So thank you.
No worries. I'm happy to help.
Hello, this is Peter.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning, Pete.
How we all doing?
Good.
We're doing good. We're doing real good.
Oh my gosh, Sam. New Year's resolution or what?
I'm trying not to steal the show, but I mean, come on, what keeps happening?
How you doing, Sam?
Donated.
Hey, I'm doing good. Mike, how are you doing?
You're pretty good. You shaved your beard off.
No. Hey, I wanted to. Who invited the transporters? This is a guide meeting. We didn't
Yeah,
invite transporters. I see Michelle. I see Michelle in there somewhere. So yeah, and all the
That'd be awesome.
transporters are
We
crashing
need
our
another
party.
tool, though.
Sam, how are things in Kodiak? What do you got for snow?
No snow. Well, I mean, we've had snow. We've had a little bit coming and going, but nothing. Nothing recently. So it's been pretty warm and yeah, warm and rainy right now. So yeah,
Good.
our deer should. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully be okay.
Yeah, we kind of got caught off guard this year. You know, we didn't think it was going to be that bad, and we've really scaled back for next year. Just I thought Fish and Game should have stepped in and maybe, you know, done a $1 only for non-resident and try and be good stewards of the animals and in the essence of their conservation. You know, leave the does alone.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it some more afterwards, but.
So what's on the agenda today?
We have an address by the governor's going to be speaking. I'm just watching here for him to sign on. Once he does, I'm gonna I'll introduce him and we'll mute all the mics, and then that's the beginning. And then maybe Jason, if you can email Mike the link for the expo, you can kind of see all the things that are planned.
Great. Dick, how are you doing?
Oh, whoops, sorry there, guys. I just muted everyone. We're gonna I think the governor's just getting ready here to log on. So. Okay, I just got word that the governor had joined us, so let me first just Governor Dunleavy, we sure appreciate you joining us this morning. I have just a few introductory remarks, and then I'll hand it over to you. So thanks so much for being here.
Well, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, guys and ladies.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Rohr, and I'm the president of the Alaska Professional Hunters Association. I just want to welcome everyone to the first ever online Alaska Hunting Expo, and maybe the first ever hunting expo anywhere, a completely online expo ever. This is a new first-time event for us, and so we're really excited to see how things go. Again, thanks for joining us. We're recording this, and it'll be posted on our expo site, as not everyone's going to be able to attend here for the live version. We are absolutely honored to have the 12th governor of Alaska, Governor Mike Dunleavy, here with us this morning. The governor has a few words for us, but first I just want to thank him for his strong support for wildlife in our state. You know, when Governor Dunleavy was first elected, he put together a solid team of pro hunting and pro sportsmen in leadership posts at the Department of Fish and Game. They've been doing a great job. We really appreciate their work. He and his team understand the vital role that hunters play in wildlife management. They recognize the importance of the guide industry, and they recognize the importance that our clients play, and not only just the Fish and Game's budget, but also just providing monies to rural Alaska across our state. So I also want to add that through the entire pandemic this last year, Governor Dunleavy and his team have worked tirelessly to make sure hunting and fishing activities could continue as seamlessly as possible. We really appreciate those efforts. So with that, welcome, Governor Dunleavy. Thanks so much for being here with us this morning, and I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. And it's a real honor to be here. I feel like I'm talking to a family, and that's what hunters are and outdoorsmen and women are in Alaska. We have a common culture, common language, common values, common principles. And so it is an honor. It's been quite a year, as we know. I think last time I saw some of you in person was down in Reno, I think at SCI. That was quite an event. And then, of course, shortly thereafter, this pandemic descended over the world. You know, and I want to apologize because early on when we were trying to figure this pandemic out, we impacted some spring hunts. We impacted some bear hunts. We worked very quickly to try and correct that for Alaskans. But nonetheless, I want to tell you where I think we are with this pandemic. And I want to tell you where I think we are with the vaccinations, which are going to impact your businesses. And so, the vaccine, our case load the last several weeks, our cases in the virus have actually gone down. This is counter to what's happening in the lower 48. This is counter to what's happening in Europe. Even Japan, 2 or 3 days ago, declared a renewed emergency around Tokyo and a couple other prefectures because their case rates are going up rapidly. But our case rates have gone down on average. Today we had about 400, but the last several days we've had 200, 100 and some. But we anticipate that this next month is going to be the month that tells us how long we're going to have to really grapple with this pandemic. The lower 48, there's been 2 new variants of this virus that have come out of South Africa and the United Kingdom. Those variants don't cause any more death. They don't necessarily cause any more hospitalizations, but they're highly contagious. So what that means is numbers are going to go up. What we know is that young people that aren't older or have underlying health conditions, they're generally fine with this. There are some young people that have to go to the hospital. There's no doubt about that. I don't want to minimize that. But generally speaking, we've got this narrowed down to seniors and those with underlying health conditions. So under President Trump and Operation Warp Speed, he announced last spring that we're going to have a vaccination. Well, we have a vaccination. We have several vaccinations now that are going to be game changers. And what I mean by that is we're rolling out those vaccinations now as we speak to our frontline healthcare workers because we have to make sure our hospital systems stay intact. Our senior centers where we have folks in our pioneer homes and our elder care, those workers are also being vaccinated, obviously, so they don't bring the infection into the homes. The residents of those homes are being vaccinated. And now we're going to start a full-fledged push to get 65 and older folks vaccinated, because those are the people that you see, unfortunately, in our death numbers. We have about 220 folks that have passed away. This is the second lowest number in the United States, in the country. Vermont is lower at about 135, 145, but our death rates are much lower than Vermont's per case and population-wise. And our hospitalizations are pretty good too. So the vaccinations are being rolled out. Now, for your purposes, for those that are trying to figure out how to get customers up here, clients up here, et cetera, we're pretty confident that going into the fall, spring may be difficult, especially for some of the bear hunts, but we're pretty confident that we're going to get a large number of Alaskans that will voluntarily be vaccinated. So when it comes to Alaska as a place to go to, where the virus is becoming more and more controlled, this will be the place to go to. This will be the place to go to if you want to be a hunter, if you want to hunt, especially come this fall. I'm confident of that. The question is going to be, you want to have conversations with your clients, because having them get the vaccination, having them vaccinated to make sure that they have immunity is going to allow them to freely travel, but also not have to worry about this virus, not have to worry about bringing it to Alaska, but more importantly, not having to worry about them catching it on their travel to and from Alaska. So that's really the conversation you want to have with your folks. I would anticipate, I really do, that you're going to see this spring, later this spring, definitely this summer, you're going to see a lowering of the case counts. You're going to see more people immune to this because of the vaccinations. And we're going to be putting this thing in the rearview mirror here in the spring. So I would anticipate this fall, you guys should be prepared for a pretty good fall. There's a lot of pent-up demand, as you know. What this pandemic has done, which is very interesting, it's done a number of things, but with regard to hunting across this country, across Canada, and in some cases in other parts of the world, it's actually increased the number of individuals that want to go hunting now. The families have been able to get out. They go out, they camp, they hunt with their families. They're small units, so they're not mixing with others. And there's been a bit of a rejuvenation. Don't know how long it'll last. If it's permanent, we'll see. But a bit of a rejuvenation for an appreciation of the outdoors, an appreciation of hunting. As you know, you can't buy a shell now for a whole host of reasons. It's going to be difficult for some time, I think, to actually get ammo. We're having conversations to see if there's a way we can get our own homegrown commercial ammo industry up here in the state of Alaska. We'll find out how far we can go with that. But rest assured that, as was mentioned, and I appreciate that, you do have an administration that understands hunting, understands the stewardship involved in hunting that you folks are proponents of as well. You know, it's interesting, a lot of people that don't hunt, they think all we do is kill animals. And these will be the same people oftentimes, good people that will be telling you this over a steak dinner or a chicken dinner, and not really having an understanding of how they got that steak or chicken. But you guys are the stewards of these animals. Quite frankly, if you see what's happening in Africa and even parts of Asia, it's the guides and the professional hunters and people that appreciate hunting that will keep these species healthy, their numbers large enough for all of us to appreciate. Because quite frankly, if there wasn't hunting on a professional level, a lot of these animals would be poached out. A lot of these animals would be moved off for grazing leases, grazing activities for domestic animals, and we'd have less animals. But it's a result of your activities, and this goes back a long time, your activities that have given us the deer populations we have today, many of the elk populations that we have today. And, you know, we're having discussions internally how we can increase, for example, our bison populations here in the state of Alaska, both plains, but also wood bison. We wound up hitting a bit of a roadblock on introducing more elk to mainland Alaska, wild elk, because of the chronic wasting disease issues, but we're looking into that. But we're looking at a way that we can increase our game numbers here in the state of Alaska. And that, again, is in partnership with you. And so I would say that with regard to this pandemic and vaccination, things are going to get better and better and better, and you should prepare for fall season. We'll see what happens in the spring. if you have hunters that can get their vaccinations, you might even have a pretty darn good spring season as well. So I'm confident that we're moving in the right direction. This next month, as I mentioned, could be tricky. If our numbers go up because of people coming back from traveling over the holiday season, we'll have a month or two we got to wrestle with that. But the vaccinations are a game changer. And we aren't going to mandate the vaccinations, but I would highly recommend you folks consider vaccinations for you and your crews and your guides and your helpers as well. It's just going to instill confidence in some of your older clients especially, or some of your clients that have underlying health conditions, that Alaska is as virus-free as possible. So I really think our efforts on the virus and the vaccinations is going to help your businesses, because Alaska will be the place to go to in the world that is going to control this better than most other places. We'll continue to work with you and others to increase our hunting opportunities and our game opportunities. We're always looking for feedback. We're going to be working with a number of groups this year. Like I said, we're talking about elk, we're talking about deer, we're talking about bison, how we can do that. Because again, if we can produce more animals for everyone to hunt, that means there's more animals for you and your clients. Because a lot of Alaskans, as you know, they don't necessarily enlist the help of a guide. They want to go hunting with their families and so forth. And the other thing is this: the more animals we can produce here in Alaska for all Alaskans, the more allies we all have for the outdoors, the more allies we have for hunting, all kinds of hunting, and even viewing of animals. So that's going to be a big goal of this administration over the next couple of years, and has been. I see we had about 7,000 new Alaskans apply for hunting licenses, more than ever before. I think we're going to continue to see that. We are going to continue to look at helping all Alaskans through access for those, once again, to access rivers, access parking areas. We are embarking upon a program to make Alaska the most ATV-friendly state in the entire country. You'll be hearing some exciting things here shortly, where even your ATV being a roadworthy or road available, we're looking at. So this is going to help folks access more. This is going to help families access more places. And of course, we have many remote lodges that you folks are part of. We're going to continue the dialogue with you to see how we can continue to enhance your businesses, even in the most remote part of Alaska. So you're not an afterthought, just so you know, and I think you do, you're not an afterthought in this whole endeavor. This is a family member speaking with a family of hunters and guides. When I came to Alaska, I was the kid like you in Pennsylvania, hunting squirrels with a Walker coon hound. When everyone else was doing other things, I was in the woods. I was the guy that didn't need a compass. I was the guy that would hope my parents wouldn't pick me up so I could camp out under a tree that night and explain how I did that. That's never left me. This past year, I've been fortunate. I've been able to go, in 2019, I went hunting. I went hunting with John Sturgeon and Wounded Warriors. And by the way, if you ever have a program, and I went out to the Rainy Pass Lodge with the parents, and I want to thank them for that, but if you ever have a program in which you have Wounded Warriors as part of that, and you want me to be part of that operation to help carry their packs, to help have a conversation with them, I would be more than happy to do that. When I went out to Rainy Pass this year with the parents and Dan Fye, a wounded warrior who lost his left leg and had a pretty severely damaged right leg, was able to come to Alaska, and we rode horses for days and days. And I've had horses, I've had mules, so this was really terrific for me. And to stand there with him as he sees a 60-inch moose a few hundred yards away, and he's able to place a shot and take that moose down. You know, that's like, I'm being honest with you, you know this, it's like the birth of a child, it's like a marriage, it's like a graduation. You shoot that first big moose in Alaska, you'll never forget that day. And he was fortunate that 2 days later, he got an 8.5-foot bear off that gut pile. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And I was fortunate enough to be part of that. I was fortunate enough to go on a Wounded Warrior hunt with John Sturgeon on a Fogneck for deer. I was fortunate enough to do actually a bunch of hunts this year. I have friends in Texas. I was able to get some deer and a gemsbuck last December. I'm going back down here, I think in a few weeks to do a wildebeest hunt. So, and I just actually got a permit, took a moose on my property 20 yards from my house, antlers permit here just a few weeks ago. So I think about this constantly. And I think about you guys constantly. And I think about your businesses constantly. You're part of the cultural fabric of the state of Alaska. People go hunting in this world. It's Africa. It's Alaska. I mean, we are one of the top destinations, and for good reasons. So I don't want to keep talking, you know, how it goes with a politician. You give them a mic, you got to use the jaws of life to get it off them. But I want to thank you for what you do. You guys actually live the dream that a lot of us have, but either never had the guts or the ability to do it. So when I'm talking to you, I'm actually talking to folks that sometimes I wish I was there with you. But I take advantage of it as much as possible. I'm outdoors as much as possible. I'm shooting as much as possible. And I'm thinking constantly how we can improve our game situation, our fishing game situation for all Alaskans. So with that, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Oh, I do want to show you one thing that's kind of interesting. And I don't know if anyone knows what this is, but if you can see it, if you can see this, you want me to come in closer?
Come in just a little bit closer.
Anyone know where that is? Well, that guy, by the way, is me.
It's in Bucky's place.
Exactly.
Oh, that's Bucky Winkley's.
I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. That thing is a, and I quite frankly, guys, I'm just being honest with you. I have my hands like that because I feel like I'm in the cathedral of guns. Okay, it's like a holy place. But nonetheless, whatever I can do to help, let me know. And like I said, I'll stop yapping. And if you've got some questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And Pete, it's good to see you. I have not seen you in a while, and I'm glad I see you online here.
Well, thank you so much, Governor. We really appreciate you joining us. We appreciate your comments. I have to comment. I particularly liked how you rang in the new year. I saw your post on Facebook with a rifle and a can of Tannerite. That was classy. I like that for an Alaska governor. It was perfect.
I had to warn the neighbors there was going to be some noise at a certain part of the day, and I'm lucky that I have neighbors saying, "Can we come over and do the same thing?" Where I live up in the valley.
I had to hide it from my kids, otherwise they'd be doing it in the front yard trying to cop. The governor can do it. Why can't I?
Exactly.
Well, so one of my questions was I just wanted to ask you about if you got to do any hunting this last year, but of course sounds like you did. So that was pretty exciting. Yeah, sounds like you had a good year there. You know, to circle back to the pandemic just a little bit, and you really touched on this pretty well. But I think first and foremost on a lot of our minds is what all we need to do to try to keep Alaska open for this coming year. And so you touched on some really good points there. I'm just wondering if you have anything else there, you know, and anything else there to add that we can do that we should be aware of just as we come into this next season.
Yeah, just you know, just you're going to have a little bit of time here, especially for the fall, not a lot of time for the spring. But again, the vaccinations for your clients, you're gonna help them out to be a little more alert to any different travel arrangements coming out of the lower 48. I don't anticipate, unless something really, really goes sideways, which I don't anticipate, I would anticipate Alaskans travel is going to actually get less restrictive as time goes on here because of the vaccination. Just make sure they're vaccinated. And then here's the other thing, you know, this may end up being a virus that's with us forever, just like the flu is, just like a cold is. And what does that mean? You may have some clients that'll get a vaccination today, get their second vaccination in a few weeks, but they got to check with their doctors because that immunity may not last more than, let's say, 90 days or 180 days or whatever. They just got to double check on that. And so they may be in a situation, especially your older clients or your clients with health issues, they may have to get updates on their immunizations. So you want to just have dialogue with them now to alleviate their fear, tell them where we're headed up here in Alaska, that just with a couple different steps, we're going to be able to make this a safe place for them. The isolation of your camps and so forth inherently is going to be a safe place. If they know that your workers, your help, they're all vaccinated, that's going to help them with peace of mind. So we got some time here to do this right, do this well. And like I said, I'm optimistic. I really am. And I work with my health team on a daily basis. So they're getting out the vaccinations. And we're doing actually a very, very good job here.
Well, thank you for that, Governor. Appreciate that. One last thing, one last question, then I'll let you go. I know you have a busy day, and we've certainly taken up probably enough of your time. But just have to ask: did you put in for any hunting permits for 2021?
I put in for every hunting permit there was. I had multiple permits. It was a large sum of money. Somebody's got to complain to the governor of Alaska. That's a problem, but I'll work on that. But anyway, I put in, this is hilarious. I put in for permits ever since I got here, never won one. And then the one permit I win is in my backyard where I see 7 moose a day in my backyard. So I have to say it was an easy hunt. I could have done it in my underwear, but don't repeat that.
Well, nice job. Yeah, that's very good. Well, good luck this year on drawing some tags. Hopefully you'll have some luck. And yeah, that's great. So again, hey, on behalf of APHA, on all the guides we have on here and a bunch of our clients as well who've tuned in, thanks so much for being here, for taking time out to be here, and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, it's great seeing you guys, ladies, and thanks for everything you're doing. And we got a lot to look forward to here in the state of Alaska. So take care, okay? We'll see you guys.
Thanks, Governor. Well, thanks, everyone. I appreciate you joining in. I know some folks had questions they wanted to ask the governor, but we don't want to put him on the spot, and really appreciated him joining us and taking the time. Thanks for all of you guys for joining on. If you're not aware of our the Alaska Hunt Expo activities we have going on, Deb, would you, in the comment section, type out our address to participate and the web address for it? We have seminars going on throughout today and tomorrow, and then our final auction starts tomorrow at 3 p.m. There's raffles happening every hour. We have a $8,000 floor credit for a client who books a hunt at this 2-day event. So clients can go on, you can register and then set up meetings with the different guides and have Zoom conferences one-on-one with them. So again, thanks everyone for joining. I'll wait to have us all sign off until I see Deb put that, if she put the comment on. I'm not seeing it. Oh, maybe I have to scroll down. Oh, there it is. Okay, if you scroll down, so click on the comments at the bottom. It's www.alaskahuntingexpo.com. That's www.alaskahuntingexpo.com. Go on there, sign up, participate, and again, thanks everyone for joining us. And I think our next seminar starts at, Deb can tell me, I think it, is it the Standby. Deb's looking. It might be the bear hunting seminar. Okay, Lyle's nodding his head. The next one is our bear hunting seminar. That's going to be put on by myself and Lyle and John Rydeen. So anyways, join us at 2 for that, and appreciate everyone being on here today. So have a good afternoon. Hopefully we'll see you on here a little bit later.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.